There's a lie that has been whispered into your ear since you were old enough to hold a phone. It says, you're late. Late compared to who? Late compared to what? No one ever tells you. They just make you feel it. A creeping anxiety that settles in your chest when you scroll through your feed and see someone younger, richer, more accomplished. A voice that whispers, look at them. Look at you. What are you even doing with your life? You are in your 20s, and you already feel like you are running out of time. Let me tell you something no one else will. Something you need to hear right now, in this moment, as you sit there wondering if you're falling behind. You're not late. You're not lost. You're exactly where you need to be. The feeling you are carrying right now, this weight, this confusion, this desperate need to figure everything out before the clock strikes some imaginary deadline, is not a sign that you are failing. It is a sign that you are finally awake. Think about what just happened. For the last 18, 20, 22 years of your life, you were on a track. School, exams, university, one step after another, laid out for you by someone else. You knew what was next. You knew what to do. There was a map. There was a finish line. There was a clear path from A to B to C. And then nothing. You graduated. You walked off that stage. And suddenly, the track disappeared. No one handed you a new map. No one told you where to go next. You were left standing in the middle of an open field, with nothing but the sound of your own breathing and the terrifying weight of one question. What now? This is not a crisis. This is the first real moment of your life. For the first time, you're not being told who to be. You're being asked to decide. For the first time, you're sitting alone with your own thoughts, your own fears, your own desires, and you're being forced to figure out who you actually are. Not who your parents wanted you to be, not who your teachers expected you to be, not who your friends think you should be. You are being asked to become yourself, and that is terrifying. It is also the most important work you will ever do. The confusion you feel is not a weakness. It is a sign that you are doing something real. You are 20-something. You are supposed to feel scattered. You are supposed to feel uncertain. You are supposed to try things and fail, to start things and stop them, to wake up one morning and realize you have no idea what you want, only to discover the next week that a new door has opened that you never even knew existed. This is not wasted time. This is excavation. You are digging through layers of expectation, conditioning, and fear to find what is actually yours. The dream you thought you wanted? Maybe it was your father's dream. The path you thought you were supposed to take? Maybe it was what everyone expected, not what you chose. The version of success you're chasing? Maybe it belongs to someone else, and you are exhausted because you're running their race, not your own. Your 20s are not a race. They're a clearing, a space between who you were told to be and who you will decide to become. And the reason it feels so chaotic is because you're finally alone with yourself for the first time. No more structure, no more hand-holding, just you, your mind, and the endless question, who am I? But here is where the lie gets dangerous. Right when you're most vulnerable, right when you're standing in that clearing, confused, uncertain, searching for direction, social media shows up with its highlight reels. And it tells you something cruel. You are behind. You see someone your age buying a house, someone else traveling the world, another person launching a business, an old classmate getting married, a stranger your age with 1 million followers, and each one a quiet punch to your chest. What am I doing? Why aren't I there yet? What's wrong with me? You forget that you're seeing their wins without seeing their wounds, their success without their struggle, their highlight reel without the hours of silence, failure, and doubt that came before it. You compare your messy, chaotic, uncertain present to someone else's curated past, and you decide that you are failing. But you are not failing. You're being tricked. No one posts the confusion. No one posts the nights spent crying, wondering if they made the wrong choice. No one posts the jobs they hated, the dreams they abandoned, the mornings they woke up with no idea what to do. You see the destination. You never see the journey. And because you are 20-something, because you are still learning how to measure your own worth, you believe it. You believe you're late. You believe you're losing. You believe everyone else has figured it out, and you're the only one still trying to figure out who you are. Let me free you from that lie right now. No one in their 20s has figured it out. Not the person with the business. Not the person with the followers. Not the person who looks like they have it all. They are just as confused as you are. The difference is they learn to move anyway. Your 20s are not a deadline. They're a laboratory. This is the decade where you are supposed to experiment, to try things that fail, to start paths that lead nowhere, to wake up one day and realize you are climbing the wrong mountain so you can climb down and find the right one. This is not failure. This is data. This is how you learn who you are. The people who made it early, some of them will burn out. Some of them will realize they built someone else's dream. Some of them will spend their 30s undoing what they built in their 20s because they never stopped to ask, is this mine? You have something they don't have, the courage to pause, the courage to ask the hard questions, the courage to say, I don't know who I am yet, but I am willing to find out. That is not weakness. That is the foundation of a life that is truly yours. So what do you do while the confusion is still loud, while the noise of everyone else's life drowns out your own voice? While you sit there wondering if you're wasting time, you stop looking outward. You close the apps that make you feel small. You mute the voices that tell you what success should look like. You step away from the comparison machine that is stealing your peace, your energy, your ability to breathe. You give yourself permission to not know, permission to be messy, permission to figure it out slowly, quietly, on your own terms. And then, in the silence, you listen, not to the world, not to your parents, not to your friends, to yourself. What makes you come alive? What do you care about when no one is watching? What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? What would you do if you knew no one would judge you? Those questions are your compass. Follow them, not because they will lead you to wealth or status or approval, but because they will lead you to yourself. Your 20s are not a race to be won. They are a foundation to be built. And foundations take time. They are not glamorous. No one takes pictures of a foundation. No one posts about it. But everything you build later, your career, your relationships, your peace, rests on what you lay down now. If you build fast, you will fall. If you build on someone else's blueprint, you will wake up one day in a house that was never yours. But if you build slowly, honestly, with your own hands, you will have something that no one can take from you. So stop asking yourself if you are behind. Start asking yourself, what am I building? If the answer is nothing yet, that is okay. You are still clearing the land. You are still learning what kind of builder you want to be. But one day soon you will know. And when you know, you will build. And what you build will be yours. They're the version of you 10 years from now, standing in their 30s, looking back at this moment. And they are not angry that you took too long. They are grateful. Grateful that you didn't rush. Grateful that you didn't settle. Grateful that you had the courage to sit in the confusion instead of grabbing the first path that appeared, only to regret it later. They are grateful because you took the time to know yourself, to separate what was yours from what was given to you, to build slowly, intentionally, on ground that was truly yours. That version of you is not ahead or behind. They are exactly where they need to be because they built a life that fits, not a life that looks good, a life that feels good, a life that is theirs. That is what your 20s are for, not to win, to begin, So here's what I want you to do with the rest of them. The years you have left in this decade, or the ones you're already living. Stop measuring yourself against anyone else. Their path is not your path. Their timeline is not your timeline. Their version of success is not your version of fulfillment. Instead, protect your attention like it is the only thing that matters. Because it is. What you give your attention to, you become. Give it to comparison, and you become anxious. Give it to fear, and you become paralyzed. Give it to your own curiosity, your own quiet voice, your own small steps forward, and you become yourself. And when the noise of the world tries to pull you away, when the apps buzz, when the doubts rise, when the fear of being left behind creeps in, remind yourself of one thing. You are not late. You are beginning. One day, you will look back at these years, and you will smile, not because you had it all figured out, but because you had the courage to let yourself not know, to sit in the uncertainty, to build slowly, to become yourself in your own time. The world will always tell you to hurry, to compare, to measure your worth against someone else's highlight reel. But the truth is, no one else is living your life. No one else carries your particular blend of gifts, wounds, dreams, and timing. No one else can become the person you're meant to become. So give yourself permission. Permission to not have the answers yet. Permission to try and fail and try again. Permission to follow what makes you come alive, even if it doesn't make sense to anyone else. Your 20s are not a race. They are a beginning. And beginnings are the most powerful thing you will ever have. What will you begin today?